Good morning. Welcome to Gulfstream today on this beautiful, beautiful Friday afternoon as we kick off the weekend. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you. And Brian, as always, it feels good to have the gang back together here. And everybody was in Baltimore, and now everybody's back here as we kind of recover from the Preakness blues. But a big weekend going on here.
Yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to. The big drama tomorrow for the dirt runners. Turf Stakes on Sunday. We get to see the reappearance of Miss Gambellini, who looks like a real star.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a mandatory Rainbow 6 on Sunday as well. Here you can see the stakes. Thank you, guys. The big drama on the dirt for the guys tomorrow and the gals in the ladies' island. And again, Miss Gambellini came back running and dominated.
Oh, yeah.
And she's going to do it again on Sunday. And then, of course, that is a good segue. I think that's race 7 on Sunday.
Yep.
And that's a good segue into that Rainbow 6 where regardless, and we have 2 racing days to go, but regardless of what happens, it will be a mandatory Rainbow 6 on Sunday.
Yeah, very fun. There was a single and a couple doubles alive into the last yesterday, but lo and behold, it went unhit. And today we've got, I think, 75,000 in that estimate. But the early pick 5 kicks things off. Yeah, thanks, guys. 75,000. Our graphics team is on it. Can't thank them enough for everybody upstairs. Whenever you go away and come back here, it makes you appreciate
There you go.
everybody. But makes you appreciate my co-host here as well. We won't talk about Ronnie because we were chop liver to him there. But let's get into your early pick 5.
Yeah, it's a $40.50 ticket. Very few, we'll call them significant scratches today. 3 deep in the opening leg. The 2-year-old males will sprint on the turf in a maiden special weight race 2. I do scratch in. This was, I just changed up. The 5, Hotter Than Dem, was a D'Angelo. First-time starter. Race 3 is the 3, and that is Splash Dive. You can see the single in race 4. Fantastic Flame. If it is not today for her, I don't know when it's going to be.
Yeah.
And in race number 5, the 9 for me, and that is Bomb Squad. That will be a square price in there on a $40.50 early pick 5 ticket.
All right, well, let's get into the opener here. It's allowance optional claimers, 5.5 furlongs. These are for the 4-year-olds and upward. We have a scratch of the 3 High Strike and the 4 Drum Roll in this spot here. Both of us on the 7, Rachel's coach, who just all he does. Rachel's song and Rachel's coach.
So
I get
weird.
so confused. He likes to win.
Yeah, and he's drawn well today, too, with Reese's Rolex, who's on the inside, and we'll talk about that one certainly in a second. But Rachel's coach is well drawn. Rohan Crichton starting to get it going again a little bit, and 3 for 4 on the Tapeta, so I think it adds up to for him to be in a good spot. But he better be good today because this Reese's Rolex, I think, is we'll call him the fastest horse he's met, I think.
Yeah, and coming off of a freshening up as well. So a lot of works. Well, actually, I shouldn't say a lot of works. A few works on the page. But honestly, for a newly turned 4-year-old now, well, 5 months into being the 4-year-old career, newly to us, 5.5 furlongs. I don't think you have to be 1,000% tight in order to squeak away with a win here, coming off of 3 victories in a row. But now the rail, that's unfortunate.
It is. Joe Orsino, what a great Royal Palm meet he's been having. And he is 8 for 24. 33% with this elongated kind of layoff.
Yep.
Reese's Rolex 2-5, 9-10, 2-5, and they can't bet enough on this horse. But he is running against older horses for the first time. He's a huge threat in here, and if he's ready to roll, he's better. Even though Rachel's coach is an older horse, he's better than him.
Yep, I agree completely. Now, race number 2, it's 2-year-old maiden special weights. Now, this was the boys' division of the race, but ironically, we've got a lot of gals in the race, and it starts at Tropical Turf Pick 3, races 2, 7, and 9 today. I have the ticket. We'll take a quick look at it here before we get into this 5-furlong turf sprint with the rails at 59 feet here. It's a $27 play. My single is in race number 7, and that is with the 1 Whiskey Park. First off the claim. I'm not super sold, but I think that was my biggest anchor there. And then in race number 9, I have a little bit of coverage. I do have the 3 on top that's ditched for Saffie Joseph. So a $27 play, a low 15% takeout, $3 minimum. an incredible wager. Like I mentioned, Brian, a few gals in this race here, and I'm interested to see who you started it out with. Okay, the number 5. Oh, we both ended up on Hotter Than Dim.
Yeah, we'll see about the tote board. Check this out, because I'm just not enamored with either of the morning line favorites. So we'll see. Hotter Than Dim, a firster for D'Angelo. He's done much better with first-time turfers. You have to be a little careful here, as you know. They work so fast
they do.
at Palmetto. So in theory, you look at a 34-2 drill and you say, "Oh my goodness, that's so fast." That's not really the case at all. Not that it's not fast, but they're all doing that. Is the point here? It's a homebred. That kind of throws another little monkey wrench into the equation. But I don't want to speak for you. I'm just more against the 4 and the 7. And that means I'm looking elsewhere, and that means I think the 5 with Jaramillo aboard, who's kind of become the go-to guy for Jose.
Yes.
That says to me maybe we're in a good spot today.
Right, and volatile with 2-year-old first-time starters, 13 for 64. That's 20%. I looked it up. Don't worry.
You didn't do the math.
I did not do the maths on that. But, yeah, no works in the morning. But when you have a Misael and you can get some speed, although a Misael had a pickup mount yesterday and came from off the pace in the 2-year-old race.
Well, he can do anything, but
he can,
I
but
don't think you're naming him.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the number 7, Kitty Cleo. This gal here, she tried to blow the turn in the Royal Palm Juvenile.
Yeah, so it was kind of an odd race. There's nothing to show other than her getting out, and that was it. Lenny Lou was good for Team Biancone that day. She'll go over to Royal Ascot. You could talk about this more than me as a horsewoman. The fillies are typically going to be more mature and maybe bigger and a little stronger than the colts at this point, right?
They
so it's
are.
not a big deal.
No, it's not. This time of year, no, it's really not. They're usually more precocious. Now, they add the blinkers on today. Look, the rails are at the same exact setting they wore for the Royal Palm Juvenile, and she was really trying to get out. And I went back and I watched her DePita work on April 20th again, and she was trying to get out there too. So, I don't know. Take her with a grain of salt. You found a stat for Safi.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. I mean, I made her the morning line favorite because I think
they're going to bet her.
They're going to bet her, and she comes out of our stakes race, and this is a good stat for Safi. 29% second-time starters for the maiden. So, I would assume she'd vie for it with the 4 Monster. If the 5 is lower than 5-1, if she's taking a lot of money, I just think it flatters her that much more.
Yeah, let's look at a couple new shooters here. We'll start with Bayou Bridget, who was a $20,000 OBS April purchase here. So for a Neolithic, I feel like that's pretty. I think it's pretty on par here. Now, this is Courageous Cajun, so the middle horse. So all of these have big shadow rolls on. You can see that action, Brian, in the middle that we're watching here just kind of goes up and down on the dirt. Therefore, you think that the grass is going to be a good fit. Broke straight as an arrow, which is good to see here, but I think we're going to need some distance with this gal.
Yeah, Heather Smullen's not known for really popping first out. The barn has turned a corner a little bit here as well. I do want to mention that Luca Panici will be riding Bayou Bridget, and if he's in the room, welcome back to Luca. We missed him for a few days here, so these tough men and women of the sport, great to see Luca back today.
Yeah, we'll also look at Tully Road here, who I think just didn't like the dirt. These Leinsters, though, they've been just cruising along. Now, this is the breeze the breeze right before the race here, and now that I go back and I watch this, now the blinkers are on. They were off for the race. They're on here today. You look, this horse, she barely picks up her feet on the turf. I mean, on the dirt. She just shuffles. So you would think she's going to have better. And I wanted to show just because the action wasn't there in the morning, it wasn't there in the afternoon. They couldn't bet enough on her that day.
That's what worries me, that, these horses have been precocious, and they've been running, and they hammered this horse to 6-5, and she was not good at all. I'm just a little leery that just because they're going to try turf today, she's going to wake way up.
I think the biggest key is Monster. Worked 33 on the grass. I mean, that's just... this horse, I'm so against. He can beat me. He has a short neck. I don't like the way he travels. He'll try the turf today. But like you said, you can't trust those AM workouts on the turf.
Now, with that being said, I don't ever remember seeing 33, but
yeah.
I say good for him for that because, he's a horse. To me, you have to totally play against.
The race is not won in the morning,
Right.
so there you go. So race 3, it's a maiden 12-5. It's on the fast main track here. We scratched the only older horse in the field, that is I Love Ireland, so straight 3-year-olds here in this spot, and Splash Die for you.
Yeah, Jenna Antonucci's getting pretty hot.
Yeah.
I mean, the barn's been winning races in bunches. Her guy, Jose Morelos, is here. We can't say enough about him. I kind of feel like she's coming out of good races, and this is your move. She's just trying the dirt for the first time.
Yep.
Who's in here that you got to be? I mean, Royal Prado's your 2-1.
Yeah.
No, second choice, 2-1. I mean, come on. Let's be honest here. Like, really?
Yeah, this is a tough race to really run to the window on anybody, and we do have the same super, so I think that's significant. Running hot, actually no, let's talk about Navita, because this one, the dirt races were not great, but it seems like once this horse, when she stretched out, she got better.
So I guess that's what you have to go with,
right?
Because the dirt form is not good at all.
No.
The Tapeta sprint was no good either, but then the routes really picked up her game quite a bit. She's going to get a ton of weight from some of these horses. 60-1, 5-1, 9-5 morning line favorite. That's what's going on here.
Right.
You're allowed to, if you think you have something crafty in here, by all means, take a shot.
Yeah, I could not agree more with that statement. We're going to take a short break. Whenever we come back, we'll have Ron Nicoletti's Rainbow 6 ticket. He's in the bullpen warming up. And don't forget, Rainbow on Sunday. We'll be right back.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you on this fantastic Friday. We've got sunny skies, fast track, firm turf course, mandatory rainbow on Sunday. But regardless, Brian, what happens today, it is going to be mandatory. But Ron Nicoletti has got that ticket. It starts in race number 4.
Yeah, $75,000 in your estimated jackpot today. Too deep in here. Let's see, the single for Ronnie is in race number 8, and that is... Okay, that I'm going to say, our Pretty Kitty makes perfect sense in there. I have a long shot in there. That's the 4. She's my Lady Luck. I don't like any of those horses, to be perfectly honest with you. And 3 deep in race number 9, any of those favorites, I should say. And I think Ronnie's got the 3 logical ones in there. I'll throw out the 1 Starship Aspen as well for Heather Smullen. On a drop, but that's that's Ronnie's number there, 4320, and $75,000 estimated jackpot. It's not easy today, but you heard Samantha and we showed it to you. Mandatory on Sunday, and $750 is what they're kind of prognosticating.
It'll be very, very fun, and today is fun because we kick it off with the maiden special weight, 6.5 on the fast main track. The 7 for you, Fantastic Flame. We'll watch the replay and you can talk about it. This was the Rumors Have It race, so you didn't get to see her for very long.
So Rumors Have It is like literally the greatest bred horse of all time that had never really done any running, and Ken Sweezy got her for Mandy Pope. She's out of Songbird, okay, so that's why I say that. And maybe she was good. I don't know. Rumors Had It. She closed up shop pretty readily here, but she also just got fried chasing a horse that, for whatever reason, decided to be good on a switch from the Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher to Kent Sweezy. If the 7 doesn't hit the board, I'll head home and do something else. You're like you're more stubborn than I am. She's odds on in here. Come on.
She is. I'm not saying,
Okay.
but I think I don't like the way she finished up that
Well,
race.
I don't disagree with
Yeah,
that.
but no, I will say that she had some nice spacing between races. Fortunately for her, the rest of the field doesn't look like they want to get their picture taken. Young and Pretty to me. And I will say this: Fantastic Flame has the 4-year-old advantage here.
Yeah.
Yep. So I will say that Young and Pretty, I liked those races that she's coming out of. Not a huge fan of McKenzie's so far, but the third place finisher in her last race came back to win. That was back in February during the thick of the championship meet, and I feel like Victor, he's good off of these layoffs.
Well, listen, the reality of it is Young and Pretty would be 20-1 in this race. Normally, she's 5-1. She might be your second choice in this race because there's nothing in here other than the favorite, and I'm not telling you the favorite's any great shakes either. People that are trying to sweep the rainbow today will buy this race, try to beat a potentially vulnerable favorite. Listen, she's slow, and she might be a little bit on the, she's theoretically rising in class today. That was an okay race last time, and she's lightly raced. And, Victor, this is a great spot, that says when Victor said, I'm going to run her in a maiden special weight, he could not have asked for anything more when he saw the other 6 gals opposing her today.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me about the number 6 bottomless mimosa. Just got fried last time?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And, you're going to get, Edgard says, I'll stick around as well. I think 2 things. She got fried last time. I think she also paid the price for what was a pretty decent little return off a switch, off a layoff as well. Maybe she gets back to it today.
She could.
Boy, like I said, if Fantastic Flame does not win today, I can't possibly imagine when she would win.
Yeah.
Unless she's in for a tag.
Yes. Race number 5 starts the late pick 5 here, a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. $8,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 lifetime. We scratched the 2 Lady Monique out of this spot. I'm kicking it off with a long shot. We'll take a look at my late pick 5 ticket very quickly. It's a $54 play. Race number 6. I have the 7 on top. That's Catch a Tiger, race number 7. I'm singling Whiskey Park. That was my single in my TTP3. Race number 8, I do scratch into the 7. I had a best bet, Love You Morgan, and that's out of the water there.
She was your best bet?
Yep, she was.
Wow, that was a good one, though.
Yeah, I know, unfortunate. And then race number 9, I've got the 3 on top. That is Ditched for Safi Joseph on the trainer change here. So $54 is the play. Brian, like I mentioned, I do have a long shot here with the 9 Bomb Squad, but which way did you go
I went with Bomb Squad.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well,
You go ahead.
Well, okay, so I'm not afraid of anybody in this race.
Check.
Fresh Horse. Oh, we have it the exact same. That's
Wow.
funny. Wow, stop copying. This is second off the claim for Javier Negrete. Look, this barn 0 for 13. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, he's been close, because he really hasn't. But I just think a fresh mare in this field, and we'll talk about, I don't want Hits Different. Why didn't Hits Different win last time, or the other gal, or Awesome Sauce?
Yeah,
we just take turns beating each
Yeah,
other.
she's dropping in half. That's not a bad thing
Nope.
at all. The Bet Stormy Birdaway Diamonds of Lily group would drown anyone in here. Jose Morelos, the hot jock, says, I'll ride again. And,
Good
she's got back races, albeit with different trainers that are, let's just be honest, higher percentage.
Right.
Maybe she's not going to get back to them, but on the drop today, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here. And I don't know, she's got to be some kind of price in here for sure.
She has to. Now, Diamonds and Thrills went on a tear with 2 wins in a row, and then I think she came. I don't want to say she came back too quick, because I think it's okay this time of year. But the April 11th to April 25th, after she squeaked out 2 tough wins, maybe she paid the price.
Well,
in that
yeah,
spot.
and she did rise in class.
Yeah.
Now, they were 3-year-olds, but that's a decent enough group. Great Shashi and Zozie. We'll see on
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow or something? Okay,
tomorrow.
So they're okay in that element there. She is going to be back facing older horses, but she beat them 2 back.
Yeah.
She draws well in here, too. She's got a nice kind of stalking middle move. She's one of the ones in here for sure.
Let's look at the replay of our Awesome Sauce and Hits Different. Now, they take turns beating each other in the 2nd and 3rd place finishing ranks. Now, this is the April 25th race, so the last race for both of them here. Hits Different, very wide off that turn.
Yeah, and she got shuffled into the first turn, too, to be fair for her. In tight, shuffled around a bit. First turn is my note, forced to swoop widest. Here's the problem, okay? The horse that she could not run down on the inside, Our Awesome Sauce, was 45 to 1. Look at her odds in all of her races. So every once in a while, Our Awesome Sauce, she did it 4 starts ago.
She'll pop up.
She runs a little bit. You figure it out. We don't know when it's going to be, but and they're going to bet hits different. Bo Chapman, a former assistant for Safi, takes over. Nice young kid. Great to see him get a win a couple weeks ago now. Everything he's run has been live.
Yeah.
Everything he's run has run well. She will too. Oh, by the way, she's 0 for 14 on Tapita. And she's 2 to 1.
Yeah, that's hard to go to a window on a horse like that.
Agree totally.
Race number 6 furlongs on the main track. A really competitive state bred optional claiming race. It does start off the late pick 4, and Brian has got the ticket.
Yep, I'll take a look at it here. I've got my best bet. This is low hanging here, especially with 2 scratches. Not they were significant, but it'll lower the price. Race 7, I'm on the inside with Whiskey Park. I agree with everything Samantha kind of hinted at, and she'll talk about. My long shot in race 8 is the 4. She's my Lady Luck, trying the main track today for the first time. And in race number 9, I'm on the inside with Starship Aspen. If I'm right with the late double, this could pay pretty handsomely on a $16 late pick 4 ticket.
I like it. You're starting off with the single with Latch the Hatch. We'll show the replay. I'll let you talk about this guy.
Yeah, sometimes you overthink things in racing, and sometimes horses are just better and faster than everybody else in their respective race, and that's what Latch the Hatch is. Just a better horse. And what's going on here, the horse that ran him down after he middle moved to the lead is Joey Muscles, who's, honestly a pretty accomplished state bred for Jenna Antonucci, and he's okay, and he's actually stakes placed against Open Company as a 2-year-old. So that horse is okay. That horse would be 2 to 5 in here. And I think Latch the Hatch is just better than these. Did I put your horse? Yeah, I get what your horse is. I get your pick in here.
Just has some speed, which I like, and cutting back, so we know the horse is fit. The only 2 dirt races were on debut, and then the second time starter, I think, actually, did Dickens win that race? Dickens won the maiden race, in which this horse debuted and ran second, so, which is kind of funny because Latch the Hatch is a half to Dickens.
That is funny.
Interesting, yeah.
Arundel, I think.
Yeah, but a 4-year-old, whereas Latch the Hatch is a 3-year-old. But Latch the Hatch, those, like you mentioned, those were tough races.
Yeah. Oh, to be sure. Tank came back and won a turf stakes.
Yeah.
That was a turf race, excuse me. And, rookie card for Danny Gargan is, really, he's a Florida bred that is going to play in open water. So, and Neo Equos there, he ran in the Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
So, this horse, to me, lays over the field.
You found a stat with Gustavo Delgado. I'm interested to see this horse won first time out.
Yeah, this is easy answer. Who absolutely dominated first time out. That's the good. The bad was it was as slow a race as there was. Maiden win last out dirt sprints. 0 for 9, and the horses have only hit the board 3 times.
Wow.
This horse has a world of upside. It's silly to kind of beat him up a little bit because he won by over 6 lengths on debut. That was a wildly slow race.
Yeah, no kidding. I was just thinking back on that Keep On Moving was like...
No.
Yeah.
13-1 for 6 furlongs. He's going to really need to improve today.
Yeah, he will. Race number 7. It's the second leg in that Tropical Turf Pick 3. It's $35,000 level. Non-winners a 2 lifetime. It's a mile and a 16th on the grass course. The rails are at 59 feet. The 3 Message from the King is out, as well as the 8 Goes the Clown here. And Whiskey Park, we'll look at the replay. Blinkers go on, first off the claim.
Yeah, I like this claim for Gustavo here. This is a barn. I love when barns that good barns that don't do things like this do things like this.
Yes.
There's clearly they like this horse. He's 0 for 2 off the claim. He never claims horses.
Right.
So they like this horse, and they went in and they grabbed this horse for 25, and they bump him to 35, and he ran a winning race. He just couldn't get by the franchise, who, oh, by the way, the last time the franchise ran was in the Grade 1 Saratoga Derby.
Right.
Or maybe it was the Belmont Derby.
Something like that, yeah.
That's a horse that, in his day would have lapped that field.
Yeah.
Whiskey Park, I almost made him the favorite, but when Goes the Clown is in there for D'Angelo and Zayas and they can't bet him enough, he'll be the favorite. This horse now auto defaults into a very strong favorite.
Yes, absolutely, for all the reasons that you mentioned. The 7 you've got in the mix, Reminder. This horse, he leaves himself with way too much to do,
Yeah.
and you can't win like this whenever the rails are at 59 feet. You just
No,
can't.
I don't know why goes the clown scratch, but Jose had both of them. D'Angelo, he's going to leave the 7 in, so food for thought. But what Samantha alluded to, he's 1 for 13 with 7 underneath finishes. Why, you ask? He's got no speed, and he's always up against it. Now, I know there's a couple scratches. One of them helps him draw in. Rails are still at 59 feet. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not conducive to his running style. That's why with Unspoken Request, although I don't believe in that Tampa form, this horse, whenever he got brave on the lead, he just kept on going. Did he pay the price last time out? Are they going to show Marcos Meneses he's ridden this horse before? Maybe we just get aggressive and go.
It's sitting right there in front of you. The only time this horse won is when he ran off at Tampa. Speed, a lot like here. I know it's a different turf course over there. Speed can hold at Tampa. Hey, he could get brave in here.
Yeah, he could. Race number 8, it is allowance optional claimers, a mile on the main track, a good one too. The number 2, Love You Morgan, is out. Any Good Boy will be ridden by Miguel Vasquez. I lost my best bet out of this spot here, so you take it away with the 4, She's My Lady Luck.
Well, this is the old Samantha angle.
Yeah.
This is a horse now trying the main track for the first time. Dave Brady works horses fast, but she is really worked well in the morning on the main track. I like the foundation that she brings, the 2 turns. And I'm sorry if I'm facing Volatile and Feedy, I'm going to play against those 2 horses.
Yeah.
Our Pretty Kitty might be dressed up off a maiden win. You were doing the same thing that I'm doing. It's a great spot to look around to try to beat 3 favorites that, to me at least, are vulnerable.
Yeah, I tried Volatile again last time, and we'll get to the replay in just a second. But here's one note about She's My Lady Luck, because I wanted to make her, because like you said, this is my angle. But when she worked at the sale last year, she was just like very short-necked. She had a lighter hip. She did grow up a little bit, but I don't know about the dirt for her. But you see it in the mornings. You can't watch. I mean, there wasn't any on her, so I can't say anything. But if she maybe likes the dirt just a little bit like the AM, she could beat this field, because let's look at Volatile and Feedy, who Well, these are two nice fillies. I don't want to take anything away from them, but I'm done with Volatile. I'm washing my hands with her. I can't do it anymore.
This is a total hang job here.
Yeah.
She has to win. I've lost many barbells on this horse,
Yeah.
okay? I'm all done with her, and I'm not going to – don't tell me the mile's going to put her over the top today, because she had every reason, every right. She has to go by the 7.
Yeah.
This is your race, Volatile. You win. Good for you. Look, this is – come on. She's going to win by 3 right here.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, she didn't. And and being on the inside in Missouri, I don't like that horse coming back. I mean, this race coming back, honestly, like the horses that ran in it. Feedy, did she just pay the price for a blitzing state bred race?
Feedy was really good 2 starts
She
back.
was amazing. And maybe she just paid the price a little bit. Maybe it was just state breds. We'll find out today. Misael's back aboard her again, but the running line is flat. I could not agree more with that.
Yeah, she was just not very good. They didn't bet her either. I mean, and they were open company, okay, but you saw the winner was 11-1, and she was taking all the worst of it the entire time. Our Pretty Kitty, I feel, is vulnerable. She was fine winning on debut for Safi. It was we can't show the entire race. I know the second and third place horses came back to win. It flatters her. She was dropping back significantly entering the far turn. She came around and won. I don't know what's going on there.
Yep, she's that's like you said. Rainbow players, I think, will buy this race, or at least try to go against the favorite. Now the finale here, maiden $50,000 claimers, a mile and a 16th on the grass course. We don't have any scratches. We just have a jockey change on the number 5 Spirit of Jamaica. Make that Miguel Vasquez here. 1 Starship Aspen, daughter of Gift Box, going to try the turf for the second time.
Yeah, she ran okay on it. She was out of her element last time, but it's a maiden special weight dropper with a good post. They went really fast in that race, so I expect her to be a little closer in here in a race where there's nobody that you're supposed to be all hot and bothered about. And she has upside in a race where, other than your horse, the other proven horses, the Latouches and things like that, she is, to me, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Wait till we show you the stat on the 8 goal. So you talk about your pick, and then, we'll thumb through a few others.
Yeah, so Ditched is coming out of a maiden claiming Tampa race where she finished second, and we'll take a look at the replay. She drew the rail that day, and then look at where she ended up here on the outside. I thought you watch a lot more Tampa replays than I do. Where this horse was at the top of the stretch, you don't usually come on like that.
No, she's very green as well. She seemed to be having run. She wouldn't have won, but she would have been closer. The winner did come back to win.
Just going to see.
She did run well.
By 2.5 lengths, too, came back to win. But the winner was kind of serious for Christophe Clement.
Yeah, and, if you're not familiar with Ricky Hendricks, he does a very good job in the Mid-Atlantic. He's got a long, no pun intended, steeped history in steeplechase racing.
Yes, yep.
And wins turf races at Delaware Park and at Laurel. So, this horse, Safi's taken over from a really, really good horseman. He's 29% moving horses up. Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Goal, we'll show the stat. I don't like this filly today.
No, they're going to bet her, I would assume. Look at this stat. My goodness. I mean, come on. 1 for 39 the past 60 days. The barn in and of itself is 3 for 64 at the meet. That's literally impossible. A Hall of Fame barn, 16 underneath finishes, so the horses are running okay. Yep. They're not winning. Goal is, at least supposed to be favored in here. I don't know. Maybe they won't make her favored, but you just can't. You have to play against this barn right now.
Yeah, you have to. And even though this horse showed speed last time, the first quarter was not that fast for our grass course.
No, not at all.
I feel like, and with the rails out that day too, you're supposed to win that from there. So you
quickly for Latouche. I mean, she won. She won 2 starts back for a quarter. Amity won yesterday with a home bird. Oh, my goodness.
Watch out.
That race.
This barn is clicking along, and first off the claim now, watch out.
She ran second against winners last time.
Exactly.
So I know it was for a quarter when she won. She is one of the ones in here for sure.
Yeah, you've got to use her for sure. That's 9 of them for us today. We'll take a quick look at the lightning round. A lot of big stuff going on this weekend. Most importantly, that mandatory Rainbow Six on Sunday, Brian.
Yeah, so we're estimating 750. If it doesn't get hit, probably be 750 regardless. 2 racing days, obviously, but those PPs are out. Ron will have a video that will kind of tag team a little bit, and that'll be a lot of fun stuff. It's a fun sequence. I thought there were 2 absolute free squares, including Miss Gambolini, and then 4 races where you could literally
buy them. Yeah. That'll be a fun ticket. We'll have to do the maths on that. And tomorrow we get to see Dilger back after a huge performance in New York.
Went up to the Carter in New York, which is a very historic race that's watered down now. But here he is here and handling Great Lilo, who's actually okay, and he's back home now. Great Lilo, I think, was about 18 deep in the stretch the last time we saw him, snagging defeat from the jaws of victory. But Dilger back home at Gulfstream for Safi is clearly the horse to beat in the big drama.
It's the weekend, which means we've got the coast-to-coast action back. No computers, no CAWs allowed. Retail only. Races 8 and 9 from here, and then 3 from Santa Anita. Such a fun bet. I can't harp enough on it, and a fun sequence today.
Yep, 2 hours and 23 minutes on that one, so that'll be something to look forward to later on this afternoon.
Yep, and the Tropical Turf Pick 3. Yep. Races 2, 7, and 9, I believe, today. Yep, 2, 7, 9. Thank you, guys. $3 minimum, 15% takeout. I've got a single with Whiskey Park. We'll see. And your best bet today?
66 for me. Race 6 to the 6, and that 66. Is Latch the Hatch at a short number.
All right. Mine scratch with Love You Morgan. See her another day. My year-long shot.
Yeah, a little better than that. Race 8 to 4. She's My Lady Luck in that race where Love You Morgan scratched out.
How about that? And mine is Bomb Squad in race number 5. That starts the late pick 5. That's it for us. We'll have Ron Nicoletti out for the opener. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weekend. We're happy to have you out here. Pete Isle is upstairs. He'll give you the changes.